Hello everyone, Pallytime here. Welcome back to Diablo 3. We are trucking along in Season 4. The monk is coming along quite well. If we go ahead and look at his gear, I got a new two-hand weapon that I'm using that just happened to drop. I joined another squadron member, Pure Shield, for like one rift. And this bad boy dropped on the ground. Not that great of a weapon for the build I'm doing, but it's important to take any advantage you have to get to the end game. For this build, I'm going for spirit generators. I want single-hand weapons, and I want to dual wield them. But that being said, the grandfather that dropped right here is going to get me a very long way in progression, so we're going to use it. We also have the Raymond's helm and chest, which is giving us their two-piece set bonus. Your spirit generators have a 25% increased attack speed and 300% damage. Pretty big for us. Now these are the two pieces of the set I actually didn't want, but once again they dropped and I'm going to use them. Just recently I got the Inna's pants. But you know, we're not going to use the inner set, so we're just using it for its raw stats, and its raw stats are not very good. One of the best items we could get, though, we have spirit guards. They rolled, it's not that good, but I'm happy to have them, and we're going to use them. When we use our spirit generators, they reduce our damage taken by 40%. That's a huge survivability increase. And it allowed me to switch out some of my defensive abilities for some offensive ones. And then we also have a focus that dropped on the ground that once again didn't really roll that good, but at the same time it's a focus and we're going to use it. So that's the update on the build, or at least on the gear. As far as the build goes, I switched over Crippling Wave from Mangle to Tsunami. Mangle's going to deal more damage because we can boost our fire damage more. But Tsunami hits a wider area, and I can't really min-max fire damage yet, so we're just going to go with this and try to kill as many enemies in it as humanly possible. I have Wave of Light, Pillar of Ancients on my right click, just because it does a high amount of damage. I was thinking about switching it over to Exploding Palm. Exploding Palm with the damage increase. Enemies hit take a 20% additional damage for 9 seconds. I thought this would be, you know, roughly as good, actually. It has a lower cost, and I can put it on more enemies. We'll just use that for this run. Dashing Strike didn't change. We are using Cyclone Strike with Implosion instead of Wall of Wind. We are using Epiphany with Inner Fire, just because it does some extra damage. I don't really know how good the extra damage is, but I thought, you know, we might as well get it. And then Mantra of Salvation with Agility. That has not changed at all. We should be able to move up to... Wow, it has very high expectations for me. We're going to try Torment 16 Rift, which is going to be Torment 3 difficulty equivalent. It's my first time trying it. We have zombies, which is pretty incredible. And already you should be able to tell a massive spike in power versus what we were seeing last time. The fact that I'm just killing things without having to position and worry about shit like that should be pretty telling. And again, the majority of that kill power is coming from our two-piece set of raiments. We get the survivability from our bracers, and then just the raw weapon damage from a gigantic two-hand weapon. Now you can see it does have 4,000 DPS. DPS when you're going for an attack speed build is actually kind of important. I was saying previously in another video that when you're going for just spamming abilities, the DPS doesn't matter. Well, we're not really spamming abilities, we're attacking things, so the attack speed of our weapon is pretty important. Anyway, this is going pretty easy. The yellow mob's dying, no problem at all, so we're going to jump ahead, see if we can run into some stuff. The density in here isn't too crazy, but as you can see, I'm employing the same techniques that I was doing while leveling. If there's only a couple mobs, I don't plan on stopping, and we're just going to clump them up and cleave them down as fast as we can. Try to make our own density in these areas that don't really have a lot of it themselves. I'm killing stuff pretty fast in here. The main problem I'm running into with this timer is just there's not a lot of stuff to kill. Shield pylon there, probably not going to be too much use to us. But I mean, there's a few mobs. Here's a few mobs. We can move forward. Here's a few. Like, I'm killing stuff in plenty of time. It's just like throughout this entire little walkway, there hasn't been a whole lot of enemies to take down. Now, we're safely ahead of the timer, but it's just kind of weird. Once you get up to like the 40s, at least this was my experience last season. I haven't really talked about it much yet, but with Kanai's Cube, I was able to take my Barbarian from last season, who topped out at Greater Rift 42 because of her survivability, and I added a Unity to the Cube and a Unity to our Templar Companion. This is decent right here. And I was able to take my little Barbarian, who had no survivability at all, and bring her up to Greater Rift 52 or something ridiculously higher. Like 2 Torment difficulties worth of difficulty above where she ended Season 3 at. I noticed, like, once you get past rank 40 on Greater Rift, like, the density just scales up so much, and that becomes, like, part of the challenge you have to deal with. But in these early levels, it's just like, I feel like there's never enough enemies for me to actually take down. Again, what we've been seeing on screen since I started talking about it hasn't been that bad, of course. But there was a bit of a drought in between cuts, for sure. Alright, we're coming up to the boss pretty quick. This has been an absolutely zero fuss rift. I mean, right when my character was made, we jumped right into a Torment 1 rift, and it was hard. And basically overnight, I've been able to transform my monk into a Torment 3 killing machine. So, I don't think I'm ready for Torment 6 at all. I think actually Torment 3 is a pretty comfortable place for me to sit at. Because my kill speed is so high, like, it's very efficient farming. I'm interested to see how good my single target damage is. We're going to pop Epiphany right here. This guy has Exploding Palm on him. Remember, we have the rune that increases the damage he takes by 20% whenever he has the palm over his head. Epiphany isn't going to last too crazy long, though. But with the bracers we have, we're actually standing in this poison without really taking any damage. Yeah, it's not bad, man. This is coming along quite nicely. This is Torment 3 difficulty, quite a big step up from Torment 1. And extremely efficient for us to farm right now. Maybe I'll give Torment 4 a try as well, but I'm pretty damn happy with the progress that we have made. Just keep in mind that if you're building a character and you have an in-game goal... Oh my god, did I get restraint? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my... Ah, the Wailing Host! The biggest cocktease of them all. Keep in mind that when you have a build in mind for a character and you're starting to progress it, keep an open mind when you find gear, because that's the only reason I have any type of damage output right now. It's because I've had an open mind about the gear that's been dropping for me, even though it's not optimal gear by any means whatsoever. I have 1, maybe 2 pieces I actually intend on keeping in this set, but it's a stepping stone in the right direction. Just in case you were wondering, I am going to show you my Paragon Points, my distribution for that. Pretty straightforward because we don't have a lot of stuff to spend in them. Movement speed, we're trying to cap that off. Remember, the combined total of your boots and your movement speed from Paragon caps at 25%, so you never want to go over that. You don't want to have 25 points in your Paragon for movement speed and like 15% on your boots, 12% on your boots, because it doesn't go that high, because quite simply it doesn't work like that. It stops at 25%. But as far as being efficient and clearing things, it's pretty important to get early on, in my humble opinion. After that, we're going for attack speed. We are going for resist all, and we are going for life on hit. The idea is we become tankier with resist all. We attack more with our attack speed, and then we are healing for more every single hit. Arcanite Cube, I did unlock it. I have not put anything into it yet because, quite frankly, I don't have anything that I need to put into it yet. Most of the gear I've found, I'm currently wearing right now. The Kunai's Cube has a ton of functions, but essentially, if we had, well, let's just say we had a Unity Ring that reduces the damage we take by 50%. We could slap that into the cube and equip that in this ring slot without having to wear it on our character and still receive that bonus affix. It does a lot of other things too, but that's the main function. Yeah, quite simply, I have not found a legendary worth putting in it yet. I'm going to go over here and buy some shoulders. I bought a helm instead. Actually, I do need another helm, so that wasn't terrible. I just feel so blood shard starved. That's a hard sentence to say. I feel like they significantly reduced the amount of blood shards you can get. And I think one of the reasons why is because you can come over to the cube over here. I don't know if I can actually do this. I don't know what the materials are. Yeah, rare equipment level 70 upgrade. So we would have to put in 25, oh god, death's breaths, 50 of our reusable whatever the fucks, veiled crystals, and arcane dust. And this will turn this ordinary helm into a legendary. Any legendary. It's actually an upgrade as far as damage output goes, but you have no control over what legendary you get, and it takes a ton of crafting resources. I think they want you to use this rather than gambling nonstop. Maybe I'll find the right balance for it, but as of right now, I don't know how useful it is because that is super crazy expensive to do. But I'm gonna go ahead and stop for today. Gonna do a little bit more farming today, and then we'll try again tomorrow on some Torment 4 and see how that goes. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time.